without having to overtly say that Bud Light is losing shelf space, well, Bud Light is losing shelf space. If you can just go ahead and read between the lines when it comes to this headline. Molson Coors steps up stock buybacks as Bud Light boycott aids business. The maker of Coors Light and Miller Lite beer expects to maintain the gains it has seen since its rival marketing controversy, but analysts say that won't be easy. Yeah, but analysts have said some other goofy things as well, that, oh no, the stock's actually going to be a good investment, and oh, we've definitely hit the bottom of the Anheuser Busch problem, and they were saying that stuff all the way back in July when things were going right through the floor. But okay, cool, we'll listen to what the experts have to say about this, because we know if anything has been crystallized over the past 3 years, trusting the experts is definitely the way to go. Molson Coors Beverage secured a credit rating upgrade. Wow, I didn't even actually know that was going to be, of all things, the first line out there, but there it is. And unveiled a plan for $2 billion in share buybacks, moves that follow rising volumes and cash flows, in part aided by the aftermath of the Bud Light backlash. Well, it's still technically going on, but yeah, the worst is probably blown over. Now we're just left with the permanent damage. The Chicago-based maker of Coors Light and Miller Lite beer last week said the board approved a program to repurchase $2 billion in shares over the next 5 years, a move that could signal a sharp increase in the pace of buybacks for the company, which bought back $51.5 million in shares, wow, in 2022. Also, S&P Global Ratings last week lifted its credit rating by 1 notch to the Better Business Bureau and 2 notches above speculative grade, citing a recent paring of its debt load and the ability to further lower its leverage amid the planned repurchases. Oh, that just seems like, by all indicators, business is booming. Haven't seen any write-ups like that from, the Anheuser Busch side of the equation outside of Deutsche Bank just going, no, don't worry, guys, it'll be good stock purchase. Here you have several indicators that, who's been benefiting from this? Well, it's everybody but the trans-supporting international conglomerate. Molson Coors' ratio of net debt to earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization stood at 2.5 times as of June 30th, down from 4.8 times at the end of 2016, after buying the rest of its Miller Coors LLC U.S. joint venture in a $12 billion deal. The company aims to stay below the 2.5 times for the foreseeable future. And that will definitely be aided by the fact that they're just simply selling more product. Molson Coors in August reported net sales in its second quarter rose 11.8% to $3.27 billion from the prior year period. Its net income was $342.4 million compared to $47.3 million a year earlier. The company said at the time it was lifting its sales guidance after consumers purchased more beer despite higher prices. So they were charging more, and people were more willing to give them a try, as opposed to the practically free beer during that same time period. That tells you something right there. You cannot purchase good press. A key factor in the brewing company's growth as recent months has been volume gains following the backlash of rival Bud Light's April collaboration with tranny influencer. Yes, we know all of that stuff. Bud Light's U.S. volumes have been declining about 30% a month since then, and haven't shown any signs of improvement, said Gerald Pasquarelli, Senior Vice President of Consumer Equity Research at financial services firm Wedbush Securities. Well, haven't heard about them before. Molson Coors remains the largest beneficiary of the scandal as its volumes exceeded historical levels. Well, they have the two larger brands in the top 5. Obviously, Modelo's the biggest beneficiary by taking that number 1 spot. Combining together the growth of both Coors Light and Miller Lite, then yeah, they are. But the single biggest beneficiary, obviously, you already know. Certainly, the Bud Light situation has helped, but that wasn't this windfall that sort of fell into our laps. No, exactly. You guys were just there to simply reap the benefits of this. You didn't stick your foot in your mouth as much as that feminism for Miller Lite commercial would have been detrimental at the time. We also found out that, you can go ahead and make fun of men, but oh no, if you try to erase women, that's where we draw the line, bunch of simps. The work that we've been doing over the last 3.5 years was to get all of our brands strong and help consumers to turn to us when they could have gone anywhere, she said. Oh, okay, referring to investments in the supply chain and marketing. Yeah, by not dunking on your consumers. It's a very bold strategy, and it obviously works. The company plans to step up its shareholder rewards now that it has reduced significant debt and is generating strong cash flows, Joubert said. Oh, that's the CFO, Tracy Joubert. I guess I just glossed over that. The credit rating upgrade will help the company obtain lower interest rates and to refinance debt. Yes, of course. It's just, a corporate credit rating, When you're over about 750, then you start to get the more preferential interest rates on your loans. If you do any financing and stuff like that, you already know. But if you don't, that's the equivalent of it on the business side of things. And hedge risk from volatility in commodities and currencies, Joubert said. We haven't had to use our revolving credit facility, but even at that point of view, if we did, all of that comes down, she says. Molson Coors has an important decision to make about its debt. It plans to decide before July maturity of roughly $840 million in debt, whether to pay it down or refinance, depending on the market conditions and the level of interest rates, Joubert said. Well, if they're going to be getting preferential treatment now due to this stock upgrade, well, I'm going to take a wild guess that they're going to end up refinancing it because they're in the position to. They're selling more at a higher price point. That's what you end up getting. This is the type of shit that you personally can leverage. That's why it's so important to have a good credit rating. And then also, if you have a brand that you're selling products under, make sure that you don't blatantly anger your audience, just like Anheuser Busch did, and just like they're still consequently dealing with. Dylan Mulvaney has a new idea for Bud Light amid boycott woes. Why would you listen to somebody who has done nothing over the past few months but actively shit on you? You didn't reach out to me. You tried to kill our company, and then you just play the victim off of this? Like, come on, man. Kid Rock made Dylan Mulvaney famous to an audience that transgender social media influencer never wanted to reach. That's a strange pivot, but okay. The singer called out Anheuser Busch for partnering with social media star by shooting up cases of Bud Light. Yeah, Kid Rock wasn't the only person, but okay. Well, to shoot at the beer, 100%. I never spoke Mulvaney's name. Yeah, again, the ire was directed at Bud Light, not anybody else. But that's the power of marketing. That's the power of brand awareness. Rock's message was clear. The social media hatred aimed at Mulvaney and at Anheuser Busch. No. It was more or less at Anheuser Busch. Let's make that perfectly fucking clear. In addition to transphobia, oh my God, openly shared on Bud Light's X feed, an organized boycott badly hurt the brand. No, it wasn't transphobia. If Dylan was just off simply doing goofy stuff, this wouldn't have been a problem. But this is a company that knew who their audience was. Alyssa Heinerschneid was very upfront and honest about that. The fratty kind of out-of-touch humor that we used to do that is currently has us in the #1 position as best-selling beer in the United States. We don't really want that anymore. Okay, well, if you're trying to get more people under that big tent that you want to cultivate as a brand, what do you want to do? Oh, just go ahead and try to market this. Use somebody as a conduit in order to reach out to underage audiences. Kind of a weird move that you did there, but okay. Bud Light saw its sales drop about 26%, and that caused the brand to lose its title as the world's best-selling beer. Those losses have been consistent since the boycott began in April and shows few signs of a lessening, although Anheuser-Busch executives have said that the public sentiment toward the brand has improved. Yeah, by pointing to a bunch of faulty polls, saying, people actually want to come back. Okay, but a lot of people are indifferent, but you can go ahead and cite all of these social polls, but in actuality, if nobody's buying your beer, you can go ahead and make up any story you want. Mulvaney has not said much about the situation, but June social media post did address how the company handled it. Nobody reached out to me. Why do we care about that? We don't care about that, okay? We got other things to deal with, okay? We don't reach out to any other contractors that we worked with. Because the way that they try to shirk that off to, it was a third-party marketing agency. It's like, okay, well, you guys publicly made a can bearing Mulvaney's likeness on it, so you have to take responsibility for that. And even if it was somebody else who hired her without your knowledge, The buck still stops with you, and if you would have just taken responsibility of this off rip, you could have mitigated the damage. You could have had these long-term downturns in business maybe stemmed at 5-10%, or maybe not even all that long lasting. But now we hear, bruh. In the video, she criticized Bud Light executives for not defending her and not even reaching out. Yeah, because they could see, oh God, we're going to try to play the middle road on this, but by doing that, we're pissing off everybody. And who's the smaller piece of the pie? Oh yeah, that would be that side of the aisle. So why would you go ahead and throw your hat in there when you know that there's not going to be any benefit in doing so? You're already alienating your original consumer base, and then by hopping over with the woke side of the lobby, you already know that they're never going to take your apology seriously. You know that they're only going to detest you and hold you accountable for the obvious backlash that was going to happen. So you're asking them to do something, well, quite possibly impossible. Now, the public appearance of the Forbes CMO summit, Mulvaney spoke openly about how the company should engage in transgender spokespeople. Oh boy. She also shared her idea of a potential commercial for a beer. Yes, maybe even Bud Light. Yes, I want to be in the Super Bowl commercial, and it'll be super great. We talked about this recently, but yeah, man, Mulvaney's out there just completely and totally detached from reality. But reality is, and it smacks you right in the face, Bud Light, you guys are failing. Molson Coors is absolutely exploding onto the scene, reaping the benefit as a company, and Modelo's over there just laughing, ja, 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 ja. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.